Fine, how are you?
I'm fine, thank
No, I
you.
need you to get my check.
I'm fine, thank you. Hello, everyone.
Please greet the people online. Tell them.
Hi, everyone online. Thank you for joining.
Enter some P.Sho language and give them.
My friend here.
All right. Before we delve into that story, just give us a little background about who you are. Where are you from?
Okay, I'm Birom from Plateau.
Yeah, and I know your husband is also from Plateau, right?
Yeah,
all right.
but he doesn't speak.
He doesn't speak. We don't. I don't speak. Oh my God, we're born in the city, yeah.
So I've always loved literature. I always thought I'd be a writer.
Okay.
I love adventures. I love hiking. I'm passionate about nature. I find peace in nature. My life statement happens to be the sunflower because it faces the sun and it's symbolic in my life, being that I'm facing God, the bright and morning sun, and then it's positive. It's a positive plant. So I always have made the sunflower my life statement. So that's that.
Give her a round of applause. We have the sunflower in our midst today. All right, excellent. So I shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Let's step into that story.
Okay.
Tell us about how it started. I know it started in sometime in 2020.
Yep.
The September, October. Let's get into that story.
Okay. So previously, after my second daughter, I was diagnosed. I was diagnosed with gallstones in my gallbladder, and they told me I needed to take them out. But I didn't feel any pain. I didn't feel, initially there was no pain. There was, of course, the discomfort and insomnia of no sleep and all. But I just felt I was healthy and I didn't see the need to just go in for a surgery.
So how did you even go for the diagnosis in the first place?
I think I had pain, sleepless nights. I couldn't sleep.
Okay.
And then there was some discomfort, and then of course we had to go through some scanning and all that, and then they found them.
So discomfort where? In the head? In the
No, stomach.
All right,
tummy pains, cramps, backache, just on and off, and then I just kept postponing. I don't think I should go for a surgery. I felt I was okay, the Nigerian mentality of, if you go to the hospital now, they'll dig up things that
we're not there. Tell the people in case you have tummy aches.
So then after a while, I think there was a day, the pain kept on and off. Sometimes I got addicted to taking cocodamol because it helped ease the pain and it helped me sleep. So I'll just take some cocodamol and just let it go. And then the next day I'm okay. I manage myself to walk. I continued my life until I think we went school hunting. We went school hunting for the kids one time, and we were driving along Maitama, and I just told him to stop the car. I can't move. I just wanted to lie down on the ground and stretch. Like I just needed to stretch on the ground. I was in so much pain. From there, we rushed to Nisa Premier Hospital, and of course, we started the testing, scanning. I was in so much pain. They were able to calm me down, and later it was stated that I had an appendicitis that was about to rupture, and I also had, of course, the stones. I needed to take them out. So
I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
I mean, we started with the gallstones.
Yes,
and then here you are having another emergency.
Emergency, yes.
Appendicitis.
Yeah.
While driving on the road, doing school hunting with your husband.
Yeah.
My goodness. All right.
Yeah.
So you got to hospital, Nisa Premier.
Yes, and I started the long drama with my HMOs. When it's time to take out money, HMOs will start trying to dodge. So They kept referring us to one hospital or the other. First, they said we should go to Limi Hospital. We went there, and I had been there some time back just to check, and the doctor had told me that I needed to go open, that my HMO only covers for an open surgery.
Okay.
But I didn't want to get myself opened up, and I thought I could do it like laparoscopically or whatever. I don't
So
know.
laparoscopically means you just open up a small hole.
Incision.
And small incision, I'm trying to use pedestrian language. A small incision and put in all the equipment instead of opening up wherever you want to open up fully. Just do a small hole and go in there. So that's what you wanted.
Yeah.
You didn't want any scars.
I didn't want any scars. So by the time I went back to Limi, the surgeon, the general surgeon then saw me and was like, "Madam, you're still here."
Started in Nisa,
yes, Limi, okay. And then I had been referred to Limi before from Nisa,
okay.
And the doctor had told me that I should better take them out as soon as I could. That's the stones.
The gallstones, yeah.
So the gallbladder itself, I was supposed to take out the gallbladder, and he was surprised to still see that I hadn't taken them out, because he had given me a warning. He had told me that this can result to a jaundice, and if I get jaundice, no surgeon in Abuja will work on me. No one will be allowed to perform surgery on me, because jaundice patients, they don't heal after surgery, and that is dangerous. So I needed to go to, so I was too scared. I went back to Nisa, and then Nisa was giving me a bill that was outrageous, because my HMO wouldn't cover. And then we made some.
So like how much? You know this is we're trying to
as of then, this is 2020. This was 1.8, about 1.8 million.
1.8
then
million.
Yes.
That was a car. It's still a car. That was a very car. Now it's a car.
So.
All right.
So we made our inquiries, and we found out there was this doctor in Jos that could do the same surgery for about 550. So $500,000 naira. So I was like, let me jump on it, and I took the next car to Jos. I barely made it to Jos in that pain. I was lucky enough to have my brother who was by the park, and then immediately they took me the next day, the surgery.
Calm down. Calm down, yes, calm down, all right?
Okay.
Let me let you relax. Can somebody bring her bottle of water? Somebody should also bring my own bottle of water. It's at the back. It's way at the back there. All right. We want to soak this all in.
Okay.
If you turn your attention to the screen, you can see an image of her where her eyes are getting yellow, and that's the jaundice you're talking about, where the gallstones and gallbladder, all of that. Thank you so kind. Thank you. You want to take a sip of water?
No, I'm fine. Right, I'll take some.
So tell us, you said you barely made it to Jos.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Gang had to drop me at the park. Gang dropped me at the park, and I thought, overconfident sometimes. I was so confident because they said it was a 48 hour out of the procedure takes 48 hours, and I'll be back home.
Okay.
So I told him that I'll go to Jos on a Sunday, have the surgery on Monday, and then he will join me on Tuesday, and we come back to Abuja on Wednesday, since it was just a walk in the park.
Somebody say QED. The house after went to my mind. All right.
So the journey to Jos, after he dropped me, I think there was a lot of delay at the park. I think we used green stallion then at Jabi. So there was delay with the vehicle. There was just so many things delaying us, but I was still okay. We've already made arrangements with this. I had my money in pocket, and was that the results from NISA. Of course, I was high on pain medication then from NISA, being that I had been in pain. And the journey to Jos, I think at some point during the journey, everything just went like I was floating, but then I was now crashing. I was in so much pain that like the passengers in that vehicle that they became friends, became family, because everyone wanted to help out. How are you doing now? Each time we touch the, the road to Jos is really bumpy.
Yeah.
So each time we hit any bump or we scream, the passengers will still scream at will also scream at the driver, take it easy on her. So I made it to Jos, thank goodness. And the next day I had asked my brother-in-law to go with me, since everyone seemed busy, and I just felt like, okay, he could be there in the hospital with me while I went the procedure. My mom was there also, but she was up and down. Let her just go home, and it just seemed like it was something that I could just. It's just a procedure. They explained the procedure to me. Don't eat for so hours. Just come in. You remove your. So I went for the surgery. Surgery was successful. It was a 2-in-1 surgery, taking out the appendicitis and then taking out the gallbladder
So
itself.
was it an open surgery?
No. I went the laparoscopic way, and that was what cost about $550 then. So immediately after, I think I woke up in pain. That was how I knew that I was alive. I was just in pain. I just woke up screaming. I was just screaming, and I think there was a policy that I missed about the hospital. That's FOMAS Hospital in Jos. They said something about they just, after the surgery, they don't pump you up with, unlike NISA that gives you pain medication, they don't give you pain medication. They don't give you pain medication, and here I was in severe pain. I can't describe what it was. I was in so much pain. I just kept screaming, and when we found out that we could not get pain medication, luckily my sister-in-law, who is a doctor, got me some
medication.
Some
Please
medication.
don't mention names.
So I got pain medication, and the pain wouldn't stop. I could not sleep for 2 days. I was just screaming. I was in severe pain. So of course, they could not see anything from where I had had the surgery, and they took me out of the hospital. I was discharged, and I went back home, but throughout that night, I didn't see anything. Before my tummy started the swelling, it was just pain initially. It was just pain.
Those are the laparoscopy.
Yeah, so I think I had one for the appendicitis, one for the gallbladder, and then maybe the drainage tubes or something like that. So my cousin, who was a doctor, came, Mark, and Mark wanted me to describe the pain. And he just kept, because I kept screaming, he was like, just calm down and describe the pain for me. And the only thing I could use to describe, maybe based on how much I watched movies or something, it was just like there were snakes in my stomach, and they were like biting me. So that was all I could say. It's like snakes in my stomach. They are eating me from the inside. That's just how I could describe the pain. And we went to another hospital along in Jos. We went to the first hospital, spent hours scanning, checking. I was in pain, and this is scanning going on, and I was just screaming, and it was hard to even pin me down to have the scan on. And they didn't see anything. He now said we should check another hospital. We went to another hospital along Bukuru. We went there, and they started checking again, and they didn't see anything. But then he thought fast. He said he's going to do something. It's going to be so painful, but it will save my life in the end. So he took a syringe, and he punctured my tummy and pulled out. And the next thing, it was all yellow. It was bile.
Yeah. Wow.
So I had a bile leak. Wow. So from the diagnosis,
So hold on. Does that mean the surgery just finished?
Finish, yes.
It's like they didn't close up something
Yes.
well, and there was fluid leaking.
Yes. So what I got to understand from the diagnosis is there's a clip that they use after they clip out the gallbladder, I think, and I think it was a struggle to tug it out. So after they clipped it, there was a clip that slipped, and it happens. They said 1 in 100 cases, and I happen to be that 1 in 100. So the clip, so the clip slipped, and that was bile. This was just bile fooling everywhere in my stomach. Like there was so much bile in my stomach. That's how he was able to pick with a syringe from my stomach. So the next thing, I don't know how I got to Jude. I think they bundled me with pillows and blankets and everything. They just put at the back of his car. They bundled me in and went to Jude emergency. Luckily, sometimes you say thank God for connections. So they were able to pass me through the whole. My husband's elder sister, Dr. Mina, she happens to work in Jude, and my cousin too, Dr. Mark. Gang, he also they help facilitate all the this is an emergency case, move her. We moved. It was around 8 p.m. by the time we got to Jude, but I was able to get a ward. They took me immediately to the ward. No, before the ward, we went into a procedure, the first procedure to see if they could drain the bile. So it was also a very painful procedure. This was a very painful procedure where they put catheters and they tried to drain, but it wouldn't stop. So they said they needed to they need to open me up because that was what I was running away from in Abuja. So they needed to open me up to trace where the leak was coming from, and I had to be scheduled for an emergency surgery. We went in and they opened me up. So
that's an image right there.
Yeah.
So you had a trans-abdominal incision.
So they opened me up, traced the leakage, and they were able to clip where the bile was leaking from. And after everything, that night, I don't know, I didn't think I would make it in the morning. I was in so much pain. There's something about bad blood in your system that can kill. It is a very painful, it's so painful. You just keep screaming, you're not crying, you're just screaming in pain. And then after the surgery, everything seemed nice, everything seemed okay, the pain had reduced.
Okay.
I felt relieved. I spent a week.
Please permit us to breathe easy. My goodness. Pain reduced.
Yeah, pain reduced, and of course I could barely walk. But then I had ceased eating. I could not eat anything. There was no appetite. There was no. It was like I think at some point my mother-in-law and my mom, if they could beat me, because I just couldn't eat. I couldn't take anything in. Giam was able to come from Abuja to stay during the first surgery, and then we were okay. So I went for a check. Okay, at some point we had to be dressing the scar.
So after the surgery,
then we had to
dress.
Yes.
So
because Jude was so far from Rayfield where my mom stayed, we were able to register at Rayfield Medical, which was closer. And each time I go for dressing, I noticed that the nurses didn't want to. It's like, I dressed her the other day. They were avoiding the dressing, and I was like, what is going on? Like, why wouldn't you? But I just dismissed it. So there's this particular day, they had to tell the doctor that she should come and see this woman, or they don't understand what is going on. So when the doctor saw me, she was like, have I gone back to where I had this surgery? I told her it was Jute. They now said I had to go back to Jute and see my doctor. When is my next checkup? And I told them, they were like, okay, I should make sure I go there. So by the time I got there, okay, apparently why they were avoiding me was because I wasn't healing.
Yeah.
The scar wouldn't heal, and I had already gotten to the stage of jaundice. So we got to the hospital. I remember Professor Isiche examining me, and she just started calling, who did you come with? And I said, my mom is outside. She now said, no, she remembers that there was so much noise about my case because the surgery happened at Professor Misauno's hospital in Jos, and then everybody was just already on my case. Yeah. It was what saved me somehow, because everybody was like, what happened? What could go wrong, So she said she insisted to see my sister-in-law, who she knows personally, and she was like, she needed to see her. And my sister-in-law came in, and they said that I needed to go in for another surgery because apparently there was like an obstruction again on the joint, on the liver. I think trying to take out the gallbladder, some of the stones had escaped and
was causing another blockage.
Was causing another blockage in the liver. So they said they needed to open me up
again
and perform another surgery. I think we went to another procedure where they said a sac had formed below the liver. There was a sac that had formed, and it had become so thick, and there was a way they couldn't penetrate it using another procedure. I went through the scanning procedure so that they could.
So let's break this down. Let's deconstruct this a little bit. So here you are after surgery, going in for wound dressing, and it's not healing. You do a scan, find out that there's a sac.
A sac
of fluid collected somewhere again
under the liver.
And then you said you did another procedure.
Yes.
How was that procedure? Was it the theater?
Yes, it was not a theater. It was in one of the scanning rooms.
Okay, so you go to the scanning room.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to.
They inject numbing medication, trying to numb the whole.
Yes.
So they perforate. So they cut you. They make incisions again and try to use some catheters, some things again to perforate it so that they can drain.
Rupture.
So, but it wouldn't go because they said it had already crystallized or something. It had become hard.
Very hard. Yeah. They just couldn't do it that way.
They couldn't do it that way, so they had to take me into surgery just to remove the sac and then remove that obstruction along the liver. So I went into surgery. Again, they had to open up the same place again. But before the surgery, there was so much drama because the anesthetic guy saw me and said he wasn't going to operate on this woman. So that fear that I came with from Limi, because the doctor had told me in Limi that I cannot, anyone that sees you join this, no one will touch a jointless patient to perform surgery on her. So that fear, everything came back like, okay, I was running away from this and I am right in the middle of it and I didn't know. There was just so much fear. There was arguing. I remember the doctors arguing so much. My own doctor was saying, "Oh, this is just an obstructive jaundice. If they could take it out, nothing. It will go. She will be okay." You know, the anesthetic guy. That was the day I knew that the anesthetic guys are the owners of any theaters. So if they don't clear your surgery, you are not going. So they really argued, and I think he came with his team, and they stood. Okay, that was the day for CS in Jute that day. I was not even supposed to be in the theater, so there was already drama about that. And then here I was just lying down on the stretcher. My mom had already cried so much. A few friends were around, and she. I don't. know at the point where they agreed to wheel me in, because I think everything, because of the pain medication, and I was really high on pain medication by then, and they wheeled me into the theater, and then there was just so much noise in the background, like the doctors, everything was just so rowdy. And I was just trying to hold myself. I was trying to feel okay. I was trying to understand what is going on. Okay, are they taking me in now? What's going on? And then I think part of, somehow somebody passed me a baby boy in blue trousers and white, a little cute baby, just tiny baby, and they're like, ah. So when they were passing the baby to me, I just thought, I'm going through something. I'm struggling to hold myself, and you want me to take care of this baby. What do you want me to do with this baby? But I collected the baby and just put him on my shoulder, and I kept tapping him. It was really cold. I can't explain the cold, but it was like I was freezing. But then when the baby was on my shoulder, I felt warm. There was a beautiful warmth that it was just like comforting. So next thing I woke up and they said, you went into surgery.
Wow.
Surgery was successful.
Wow.
Everything, So so many things happened. I remember my aunt came to the hospital to see me after surgery, and she was like, when people come so close to how you came so close, they usually see people on the other side. Didn't you see anyone? Didn't you see your dad? Didn't you see anyone that you knew on the other side? And I just laughed at her, and I was like, but wait, someone gave me a baby. So all the doctors frowned at me. Don't go and try anything. Oh, don't even try.
Yeah.
So we just laughed about it, and I continued. Like, I just thought, okay, this was okay. We struggled. I think from October till December, I went to Jos on around 22nd of October. All the procedures on it. I had about 4 procedures in Jute, 4 or 5 procedures in Jute, 4 procedures in Jute, and I came back to Abuja.
So this was October to December.
To December.
All through that period, you were in jobs.
Yes, I was.
You were off work.
I was off work.
You were away from your husband and your children, and he kept coming in, as you mentioned.
Yes.
And he would come in occasionally.
Yes.
Wow.
So
what lifestyle changes happened at that time?
wow.
Apart from the pain and the pain medication, what other lifestyle changes happened for you? You said you're not eating.
Yeah, okay. I couldn't eat. Eating was terrible. And I don't know, at some point during all my procedures, because of long stay in hospital, I have tiny veins, so my veins collapsed. My veins collapsed. I had to go to the central line. At some point, the central line, I were able to get the central line on my neck. So that's how I got my IV meds, and that was how I was able to take some fluids and stay alive. I could not eat. I remember my jaw being so short because I would just keep quiet. I couldn't chew. Chewing makes your exercise easy. So I couldn't, my jaw seemed short. I would just talk quietly, or I was crying. At some point I couldn't pray. I just stopped praying. I think I couldn't pray at some point. I just stopped praying because I didn't even know what to say to God. I didn't even know how to beg for my life again. I had so many hallucinations because I was on serious pain medication. I kept a journal. I forgot to pick it. I was supposed to pick it to read a few things, but I had so many visions, dreams. It's either claws pulling me to a darkness, or queuing up in front of a gigantic freezer where everyone was frozen, and I just kept telling myself, look at me in this line. I didn't even bring any warm clothing. I'm so cold. So many things happened. The drama with the humanities and everything of the nurses in jutes. The nurses in jutes, they hail you. So there was just so much going on. there was just so much going on.
So after this in December,
yeah,
you mentioned that all of this was reduced until December.
So
were you fine after that?
I was barely, a lot of, they actually wanted the children to come and join me in Jos because I had been away for so long, but I just insisted that it felt like if I didn't come back to Abuja, I'll die because December in Jos is very cold. And I think there was something about the cold, maybe the dream I had about a child warming me up or something. I just felt like I needed to come back to Abuja and stay with my children. I would feel better. In fact, that's the only thing I kept telling the doctors. I just want to see my children. I just want to come back to Jos. So I was able to fly back to Jos, to Abuja.
Yeah.
I think 11th of December or so, I came back to Abuja, and I was, of course, they had to push me on the wheelchair. But there's a point where I just told them not to push me. I wanted to walk out of the airport by myself. So I came out of the airport, and he was standing on the other side. Yes, yeah. And he told the kids that, "Oh, look, mommy, see mommy there." And they just saw me and ran past me, and I went to another woman wearing glasses, and I just stood there like unbelievable. My children didn't even recognize me because of how I had changed. I was very dark. I was very skinny. My eyes had a little tint of yellow. So,
can somebody get a tip?
No. I have one here. One, right? Yeah. So, it was such an emotional scene. My husband was there. My younger brother was there. Everyone was just crying. In fact, I had a seatmate in the plane. He saw when they wheeled me because they had to take me into the aircraft before anyone else. And he happened to be my seatmate. He's a doctor too, and he asked me what happened, and I just told him that, I had this, and I had a bile leak, and I had complications, and I had jaundice, and I had this, and I'm here. And he just throughout the flight, he was just looking at me like, it was unbelievable that I was still alive, and I was there sitting and just chatting about, it's like in my tribe, there's something they say when someone is about to die, they call it yacht, or you call it yacht. It's like when you're about to die, your mouth opens up and you begin to talk. You talk too much. So at that point, I think I'd gotten to that stage. If you just meet me, I'm just telling you that, like, look at me, I almost died. Like, look at, they cut my stomach thing, I was also always saying so much, and I don't know, I just said so many things to him, and he was just really surprised that I came back. So I was able to spend Christmas with my kids.
Just before you go with that, just want to give you a second of catch up, right? How emotional this is. When your children walk past you, they don't recognize you. It's not funny. Using numbers, I want to use numbers. Before all of this, what size were you, or what did you weigh?
I was a size 14. I was on the big side. After my daughter.
After all of this.
After all of this, I think I can't remember my weight after December. It was when the new drama started.
Oh, so new drama?
This new drama started.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So you came back, you did Christmas.
I did Christmas.
What was the new drama?
I spent Christmas, December, January, February.
Yeah, so this is coming back meeting the children.
Yes, finally.
So how did you settle with them? What happened?
They finally recognized me. I'm sure my voice, I think, of course, I will be in the same car with them. So this was also in the same car. Okay. So January, February, I got COVID. COVID happened in
This is 2021.
2021.
After all
The drama.
hospitals and appendicitis and operations and surgeries, then COVID came into the picture.
So COVID happened. I was in so much pain. Usually I would be in pain sometimes because I was still healing. I had to, part of the lifestyle changes was I had to take warm water before a meal, after a meal. I had to eat light soups, pap, just something that would just give me some energy.
What did you avoid? What did you ask for?
Oils, fatty foods, things that would not digest easily because I think they had created a stent from my liver into my major intestine just so that bile can go through, and not just bile, they suspected that some of the stones that were stuck need to come out as well. So I had to avoid having the stent being blocked, and each time the stent got blocked, I will go into that pain again, the severe pain, the screaming and shouting pain. And then here I was with COVID again, in pain. Sometimes the sides will swell, my back. The thing with touching one thing in your body is like it ripples into so many other things, because I now had this reflux, this terrible reflux. Like I could not digest food, so the gas would give me a reflux. I took antacids. I'll take antacids so much that I'll not be able to poo.
Wow.
So sometimes, like when they rushed me to the emergency, sometimes they had to extract it manually.
Yeah.
So
Enema.
yeah. So many things happened. I started. I think I resumed work around March after COVID. March, we're still at home, I guess.
How did you get out of COVID?
Okay,
I had COVID. I was asymptomatic. I had to just stay away from my family. I was in Lafayette then.
Okay.
My wife had, I think she lost smell. What was it like?
Mine was the chest pain. I had the severe chest pain. Like I was just in pain. But I was lucky to be at home. They didn't contact any COVID. They just avoided me. And I would just be in my room in pain, sometimes crying, giving him trouble because I was in pain and he was okay.
Asking for questions, right? Yeah, we'll come to you. Your own story.
So,
so did you get treatment for COVID?
Yes, I did. Okay. My sister-in-law from Jos sent some medication that I was able to take, and I felt better. I was able to resume work during long vacation. The kids and I, we took a vacation, and we came back from the vacation in August of 2021. And
so you went on vacation in August?
Yes.
So you were already getting better?
Yes, I was getting better. I had fun. It was we visited.
Where did you go? Did you go to Tireless?
No. We visited one of my big sisters in Uganda.
Okay.
So we went to Uganda. We explored. It was a very fun vacation. I was happy. It was like back to work. A new environment.
Sweet.
Then we came back and I was back to work. I resumed work, and around October, I resumed work around August, September. 12 September, it was okay. Oh, new office. My office had just moved from central area to where it is. So it was just a nice time, everything was looking okay. And then in October, when I was going to mark my 1-year anniversary, something happened. I was in pain again. It just happened that I was screaming in pain again. what could have happened? What could have happened? So we went back to NISA. When we
Same
got
abdominal pain.
same abdominal pain, it was just terrible pain, very terrible pain. And NISA, after all the tests, running of the tests, of course I had to go back to my pain medications again. And we found out that I was pregnant.
No.
I was pregnant.
So the pain. Was the pain caused by the pregnancy?
No, well.
There was medication in Uganda.
So.
I'm sorry. We have to say about this one. So was the pain from pregnancy or?
It came from the same place where I had the surgery, and hormonal changes in my body had triggered like my bilirubin level to shoot to a very abnormal level.
Wow.
So my body had developed an infection, cholangitis.
Okay.
Yes, my body had developed an infection called cholangitis. I was still having jaundice, traces of jaundice, and then I was still in pain. They call it, sometimes it's, they said it's a biliary colic, and it's one of a very painful abdominal pain. So we now started the journey again, visiting hospitals. This time around, they just told me that, see, the best place you could go to is Galki Hospital, because under one roof you have a gastroenterologist, you have a liver specialist, you have a pediatric doctor, you have a gynecologist, and then the general surgeon is there to watch over you. So we moved to from NISA, and then we moved back to Galki Hospital, which was still being managed by NISA. And of course, some of my doctors had to be discussing together. And so we now started the journey of IVs again. My lines are collapsed. I can't take in medication. They had to find another central line in my thigh.
Yeah.
So so I had to start taking medication from my central line. The journey I moved in, as I moved from NISA, I moved into Galki Hospital. I became a permanent resident.
So you were not just admitted.
I moved into Galki Hospital. I would go for checkups sometimes. Sometimes for every checkup I come, they'll just admit us because, or we wake up at 1 a.m. and we're rushing to emergency just to get immediate pain medications at the emergency unit. I preferred going to the emergency because by that time I knew that was the hack. If you go to emergency, they'll calm you down. So we paid medication. So I'll rush to the emergency, even if we can wait in line. I just say no. I just want to sleep. So sleep was like my greatest escape. Each time I took some of the drugs, I just go off. So we started the journey of being pregnant, being jaundice, having this infection in my body, heart rate of baby spiking up to 200 plus sometimes. So I had to be on oxygen. I had to be sedated so many times. There are so many procedures that I could not go to because of the child. Sometimes I'll go from Galki Hospital, I'll go to FMC Jabi, maybe to run anomaly assays just to make sure the baby is okay, is developing okay. And that's when I discovered that I was having a son.
So that dream you had when you were cold, and the baby on your shoulder was coming to reality.
Yeah.
You having a baby.
Yeah.
I told you.
It wasn't real.
It wasn't.
Remember she said she had so many hallucinations as well with and it comes with taking the pain medication and taking a lot of that. It gives you a high. So, amazing story. Amazing indeed. So you were in this was from October till...
From October till April.
Till April.
In and out of hospital in October, from October till April. I was able to meet a doctor who was a believer, and he just kept encouraging me, and that's the person, the gynecologist, the general surgeon. Where I'm friends with him, Dr. Mayo. He's my friend right now because he was the general surgeon in Galki then. He still is, and he you know, when your doctor takes your hand and like, okay, I'm with you in this. It became such a personal experience that it was not his field, but he was in theater when I was having my CS. That's like how close he took my hand and he wanted to heal. I think apart from, even in Jude, a lot of doctors became curious with my case. I remember one of my doctors in Jos, Dr. Kwalshak, will tell me that, do I know that because of you I went back to my books? That like I went back to my books to understand what this thing is, because they had lost a patient, a mom had a young lady to my exact age, had just died, and he told me that there was a day that when the team of doctors came, and I was just crying, and I told them that I just want to go home and see my children. And all of them started walking out one by one because they saw me in that woman. That was the same thing she kept telling them, that I just want to go home and see my children, and she never made it home. And here I was repeating the same comments and statements that she had. So the doctors stood by me. I think my friends, because they knew I loved the sunflower, a few of my friends sent me sunflowers to the hospital. They know I love watching the sunrise and sunset. A few of them will send me pictures of the sunrise from wherever they are, all over the world. They'll send me pictures of sunrise and sunsets, and it gave me hope. It brought me out of, at least there is people out there, even though there was the angry face where you be so angry with so many things, and you just okay. So there was an angry face. There was a serious angry. I was severely angry because I felt like I didn't deserve this. This was unfair. This is just my little body, and I can't take all of that pain. The pain was just too much, and I got very angry that sometimes when people come to pray, they'll say statements like, oh, if it's anybody that is doing this, those kind of, they will plant seeds in you that you begin to wonder, but I didn't do anything to anybody. Why would someone want to kill me? Why would somebody be so against me to cause me this much pain? So there was that angry face that at some point I didn't want to see anyone. I didn't want to see anyone in my room, because at some point I had some tubes to drain out the bile from my sides, and that thing smells. If you enter my room, that thing stinks. It's like a sock away. That's the best I could describe it. This is me feeling so cool and cute with myself sometimes, and then this is me smelling like a cesspool. It was just terrible, and I didn't want to see anyone at that point in my life. I didn't want to see people. I didn't want to see, if you enter my room and you even laugh, I'll hate you. so I didn't want to see anyone. So that was Jute. This was all Jute. But coming back to Galki Hospital, I think I was managed well. I had people around me, people that, thank you.
Oh my God. Thank you.
people around me that stood by me. My husband was there, of course, 24 hours. And I said that if our marriage did not break, then I don't think, I don't think,
he also
yeah.
needs his tissue. Give him his
He's
own.
so hard. No,
No biggie guy.
no, don't mind. Oh, sorry. So, Galkey Hospital was another experience. We stay in Dawaki, so it's a journey daily to Galkey Hospital. I still couldn't eat after that. I think that's when I dropped from the size. From 14, 10, I just came back to like a size 8. I was just so skinny, I could not take in anything else. All skin and bones, and then there's the little bump and my sunken eyes and the jaundice, and my skin was pale and the eyes were yellowing, and they said I had to go to another procedure, but I couldn't go to it because of the pregnancy. So I had to wait till I have the baby, then I can continue my treatment. So for the time being, I was just being managed on pain medication,
conservatively, yeah.
And of course the strongest antibiotics, because it was like your body in sepsis, and you have to be antibiotics constantly, constant antibiotics, and it's not the ones that you swallow, you have to take them IV. So I was always there, you know.
So let's get to where baby came out.
Okay, so
let me give you a sign. Yeah. I'm doing this. Can somebody encourage her? You want to encourage her? Yeah. No, I need to talk and to school. Yeah.
So
amazing. So
one
you had
day,
the baby. Tell us how that happened. You went in for CS, of course. I want to believe
yes.
it was an elective CS.
No, so the baby was 35 weeks, and one morning I was, you know, sometimes I would just sit with my IV lines and pulling myself, sit outside, come out, lie down on the room. I was just staying in Galkey. I tried to make myself as comfortable as, but you can't be comfortable in a hospital. So I was sitting one day, and my gynecologist just came in and said that I'm taking you in for surgery tomorrow. He had told me we'll have the baby at first week of May or so. I think first or second week of May. He had given me a date for May, so that because of the infection in my body, and they wouldn't know what my baby had taken in from then. And that day he just came in and said that God told him to take the baby out. So I'm like, okay. I started calling him. I think he was at home. I started calling my mom. My mom had gone back to Jos to handle some things, because my mom had moved into Abuja with me, and he just came and he said, we need to take out the baby. So I had this trauma from my second daughter, that when I was trying to have the epidural, so that they could not find the point on my back, and they kept hitting me. They hit me about 4 times till they got it. And by the 4th time, I was even trying to say, see, I wouldn't do it again, but they were able to get it. So that fear was also there, that, okay, this is me again going through this same period, and I don't know if my body could take any more. You know, the thing about pain is that today you think you have seen the worst pain, and then the next day it's even there's a new level of pain. And I was so scared. I don't know what her name is. They called her Dr. Mohammed. She's in Galkey Hospital, and she just kept telling me I should stop being afraid, I should pray. I was too scared, and my doctor was not there. I had already told him about my fears. I confided in him so much. And I did not see him, and they were wheeling me. In fact, by the time they wheeled me to the theater so fast, he didn't even know what theater they wheeled me to. It happened so fast, but my doctor was able to locate where I was. They took me to one of the small theaters in Galkey Hospital, and they just I don't know what they did. I can't remember what they did. But that fear, it just went off. And the next thing, I just felt numb. And they said they've even placed the catheter. I'm like, I'm so terrified about this catheter thing. So they, by the time they just say your catheter is in place, everything is in place, and you're okay, they're about to start cutting you now. And I'm like, what? I didn't even know how fast it happened. And baby came. It took a lot and a lot of spanking, and he wouldn't cry. They turned him upside down, they beat him. By that time,
the guy that was just running. Oh my God.
They beat him so much he wouldn't cry. So they were trying to put me off. They were trying to not put me off as in kill me. They were trying to get me to sleep since they thought I had lost the baby. But my nurse, she has japan now. My nurse told me that she had hope in this little child because he had not turned pink. He had not turned purple, blue, or purple. That his color was still fresh, and immediately he made the first cry. They allowed me see him, and they just brought him to me and like, look at your son, look at your son. I just looked at him, and then they wheeled him to NICU. So he was 35 weeks. I think he weighed 1.1 or 1.1 kg or something like that. He was so tiny. So
1 something kg.
So
that's very low birth weight.
So
very low. Wow.
He we continued my treatment. I had to allow him to get to a particular age, and for my hormonal levels, I was repeating these are LFTs almost weekly, just so that they'll manage my bilirubin. I think they said something about my ALT being up to 2,000.
These are liver enzymes. The enzymes that show whether your liver is working well or not.
And for a normal person, I think that's the best description they gave me. They said it was for a normal person. If it is high, it's supposed to be 200.
Yes.
But mine got up to 2,000 plus. Like I had very high bilirubin. I've forgotten most of the terms that they described my enzyme levels and how my liver was deranged and so many things. So I had liver derangement in pregnancy. I had an infection, and then I had jaundice with pregnancy. So it was just so many things happening all at once. Then, of course, baby came out. I had another procedure. Of course, that was like my sixth procedure, having the CS. And then, all my kids are CS anyway. So, then we had to start looking for how to treat this liver. We needed to deal with the liver because now that the baby was out of the way, baby was in NIC, in hospital, and I needed to start treating myself. So we now started looking for doctors. There were suggestions of taking me to Turkey. There were suggestions of looking for money to do this and that. And we just, what to do. My uncle came, and he knew a doctor that was I don't know what to call that doctor, but it was Dr. Bada in NNPC Hospital, Maitama. I think there are just two people in Nigeria that do that. One is in Ile-Ife, and then the specific procedure. It's an ELCP or so. So they said Ile-Ife, or I do in Maitama, but this is Abuja.
Okay.
We all know how much that will cost, and it will take a lot of money. But they wanted to know, I think, at first, it was even confusing in the sense that we kept asking, so how much should we bring? They're like, just wait, just hold on, let's see how this goes, just hold on. I think the only money they asked us to bring then, we said we should bring them 250,000 naira for the stent. There was a stent that they were supposed to recreate another stent from that same place that had happened in June. So I did the ELCP, another procedure to your mouth, but you'd be on full anesthesia.
Yeah. An endoscopic procedure.
Yeah, like an endoscopic procedure.
Yeah.
So that morning we came to the hospital with him, and they had told me not to eat for 24 hours.
Yes.
We came, I was very hungry, but I was weak, and I just kept telling him, can't you ask them where you're supposed to make the payment? Okay, there was supposed to be another fee for use of facility.
Mm-hmm.
So we had money for that too, and we just kept asking them, okay, this one they're not telling us where to pay the money. Just ask them, just in case you go to pay and they tell you that where is the receipt or something. So he just kept asking the doctor, so where can we pay? They now kept telling him to hold on till they wheeled me into the theater, till I had the procedure. They postponed the procedure about once or twice, and then finally the day came, and then we just had the procedure, and they're just telling me, okay, when you go home, just make sure you take Buscopan when you're in pain, don't take anything else, just. So we had that procedure where it was like a dilating of the previous stent that was even, so that I can still have more bile, so that bile is not accumulating in my stomach, in my beneath my liver, and then I'm not going into cholangitis, because I understand that was the infection that comes with bile being accumulated. So that was that.
So did you pay for that surgery?
I did not pay for that surgery. We did not pay for that surgery. The doctor said, based on his relationship with my uncle, he would not take money from that surgery. So he did not take money from that surgery.
Praise God.
My doctor, because he was my paddy now, as per my life is in your hands, he kept asking me that, come, how much did you pay for that surgery? Because he said he wanted, like, there are so many people that he wants to give them an idea, and like, honestly speaking, I did not pay for that surgery. We did not pay for that surgery. God just answered my prayer.
Please give man a round of applause, please. I want to open up the conversation to the floor. You can see the story is pretty lengthy, and there are twists and turns everywhere. We didn't see all of this coming until it came. Can I have a microphone for anyone who has a question? We're going to ask your husband a few questions too. Please, it's family, so fear not, all right? But let me ask you, man.
Yeah.
Just pick up on one or two things where in all of this you saw God. We've heard about not paying for a surgery.
Oh my God.
That one is another amazing one. For a surgery that is, well, you have only two people that can do it in country, that was going to be coupled.
Yeah.
I know that going to be expensive. So we're seeing God there. What else did you see?
So I had always thought I had things figured out, but people stepping in for me, people praying for me. I think from the images of people sending me pictures daily, sending me sunsets and sunflowers, and people stood for me. God used people to stand in for me, even when I was seriously pushing people away. Some of them refused to leave me. So I think that was good, because I can be a terrible person with my words, and I can say things that are hurtful just so that you can leave me alone. But they didn't go. They didn't leave me. They stayed. Especially my husband,
It's okay to share the tears, okay? Everyone, it's okay.
So
You can join
he
us.
really stood in for me, my friends, my cousins. My cousin, I began to call her my pseudonym because Jemima, she's not here today. I'm sure she would have loved to be here. So Jemima really stood in for me. My cousins will come. Sometimes our parlor was like a fellowship. People will come and then they just sing praise because there was nothing else to do. It's like you have prayed in already, but these prayers are not being answered. This is 2 years of battle with health, and people really stood in for me. And I saw God providing for me. I saw God comforting me. I remember when my one day there was like, oh, you should be praying, you should be everybody will have his opinion. And immediately they left. They had just told me, better just be praying, just use your Bible and pray and do this and do that. And I immediately, my mom, they left, and I told my mom, the truth is I don't even know how to pray again, and I can't even pray. And I said it when I was crying. I told her that I don't know how to pray again. I don't know what to say to God again. And she told me that even those tears, they are a prayer to God. So if I feel like crying, I should just keep crying, that this is still a prayer to God. So even when I did not know what to say to God, how to beg Him for my life, I think He allowed me to still be here. So,
Big round of applause, please. Let's encourage. Lots of us are praying with you, okay? High inclusive, all right? We're shedding a tear with you. After going through all of this, I mean, we're so grateful to God. He has blessed you with a baby boy, Senator. He's about 1 now, right?
He'll be 2.
He'll be 2 soon.
Soon,
Right?
yeah.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
So, after all of this experience, what else? What can you say you learned that you didn't know before this time?
Okay. Oh, let me go to Psalms 23. You know, we recite, we recite that. When you wake up from bed, they can tell you, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. It makes me like, you had it up there. But one thing that stood out for me in Psalm 23 in verse 4, it says, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. So that shadow of death, it's sometimes I think some translations have, even though I walk through the darkest valleys, but I'll rather lean on the one that states, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. There's something that stood out for me. There was the reference to a shadow. A shadow is not real. So it's something made up maybe by light, your light shining on or something. So I think that's kept me in the sense that each time I'm going through something painful, I'll just, okay, this is not real, this is not real, this is going to pass, this is just a shadow, this is just a shadow. So it passed. I'm here now, so of course it passed. So apart from that, I realized that I needed people. I also needed people. You can't say you can do it on your own. You know, sometimes when you're minding your business in Abuja, you say, oh, after all, I have my job, I have my house, nobody's coming to choke me. I'm doing where I can, helping where I can, you know. But I realized after that I needed people. You can't say you can do it on your own.
Oh my God.
You need people. You need people. Yes, there will be opinions, there will be thoughts, but you just know that you need people. There are so many lessons, so many lessons I learned that that everything just happened for a purpose. So I know that everything that I went through happened for a purpose, to refine me, to make me who I am, to be able to comfort people who are in pain, and I hope that someone who is listening is encouraged.
I bet you. Honestly. Hallelujah. Praise God. Alright, so let me open up. I know it's been an extensive story. Are there any particular questions that anyone else would like to ask? Even if it's to our husband at this point. I don't see any hands popping up. Okay, Patricia has questions. Pastor has one. Alright, so let's take those two. Yeah, so let's hear that.
I need to find out how it was like for you.
Yeah.
You know, when I hear her speak, the reason why I'm in tears is not because I am sorrowful. I just switched roles and imagine that that's my wife.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know, you how does it feel?
Yeah.
I don't want to how. Please let us know.
Okay, I think I was there since from the beginning. I saw everything that happened. We knew what was going on right from the beginning. But yeah, initially when she went for when she took up to Jos for the first surgery, I wasn't there. So of course, you're asking and they're not saying anything. They just say, just take your time, you will come, But then later you now come and you see, okay, it's this bad. And then the person, because I had to go, always travel on Friday, stay with her till Sunday, then come back because of the kids.
So because you work, right?
Yeah.
Civil servant.
Yeah. So I had to be doing that almost for all the time she was in Jos. So of course, getting to now, every time you go, you're now seeing it's not the same person you met. It's getting worse. Like it's not the same person. But I think there was always just a peace about it.
Like,
It was worrying, but there was a peace. There wasn't that fear.
My God.
Yes, there was the fear of anything could happen, but there was peace. If something was going to happen, something terrible, you would feel it, you would be able to feel it. So I'll probably even just hide away the information from the kids so that they would not worry to make me worry more.
Yeah.
And not that I was, but there was a sense of peace, which sometimes I would say to her, of course, it's hard. She's in a different shoe, I'm in a different shoe.
yeah.
So much pressure here, there, everywhere at work. I usually disappear from work. That one, I wasn't. They knew that I wasn't in work in the office. They knew that we were just absent. But of course, because they didn't really know, but I didn't really tell people what it was. Just few friends. But of course, it was a stressful time, but thank God, there was a peace about the whole thing that just kept me going, and assurance, of course, prayers all the time with the kids. For me, I think there was just a peace. Yes, you're worried. Yes, you're scared. Anything can happen at any time. But there was a peace that, okay, she will see through.
I love you because you're a man of few words. You're my kind of friend. I'm one that has all the words. So when my guys just say this, I understand. It's like Apple as well, You're men of few words, but deep. You may not understand what it means when that peace, Bible says of a peace that transcends all understanding. Very important. My goodness. To have that peace and not worry. Uche, let's have your question as we wrap up here.
Yes, okay, so quick one. As you're telling your story, I was trying to pick us, just like Pastor said, I've had my own little experience with my wife that I've shared the testimony. But I just wanted to ask, because I was trying to imagine pain, threshold. Did you at any time just ask God, okay, you know what, let me just go? Did it ever cross your mind?
Did you ask God? Did you want to end it?
Yeah.
Were you angry at God?
I wasn't angry, and I am I have such aesthetics to life that I didn't see myself dying. So I didn't want it to end. I wanted him to take it away.
Whoa.
I knew that there was just still so much to do.
Whoa.
And I wouldn't want to miss out on that. I wouldn't want to miss out on seen them. I know one of his greatest fears that he didn't admit was that coming back home to tell them that mommy was not coming back home. So when he told me that, like, that's fear. You know, I think another thing take away from all of that is feeding the fears. You know, there's so much fear. Believe me, even when people come to give you words of encouragement, when people come to talk to you, there are some lines that you know when you're in a vulnerable position, you pick out it's like your antennas are up, you want to hear people's thoughts, and so there's a fear. People will feed you fear. This person, hey, it happened to this person's mother before and she didn't make it. You know, so I know that I tried so much to look on the positive side, and I just wanted, the pain to pass. Don't take me away. I didn't know. I really love life, so I didn't beg him to take me so that I will realize. I prayed that he would take the pain away.
Oh, glory to God. Glory to God.
Please put your hands together for Mrs. Van Logams Rwang. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.